Hello everyone, I'm Anne Teato of the Psychic Matters podcast, and I have just started my YouTube channel. I've got 279 subscribers at the moment, and I'm absolutely thrilled to have that many people following me. So thank you very, very much if you are one of those subscribers. And if you're new to seeing me online, you're very, very welcome here. And thank you very much for joining us. Subscribe if you wish to. I'd love you to. I'm just closing out 2023. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve, and I'm going over to my best friend's house for a bit of an ease up, really, like you do on New Year. And I'm just kind of thinking, when I come back and I start throwing myself into work again and reproducing the podcasts, etc., what does that look like? And I'm just stuck. There's so many things that I could do with my filming and the kind of ideas that I want to bring, the tutorials I want to bring to you, the inspiration and the teaching, etc. So I just thought I'd just begin. I'll just make a video, put it out there and just say, you know what guys, I'm a little bit confused about my YouTube channel at the moment, and your support is hugely appreciated. Thank you very much for standing by and observing while I try to find my feet here on YouTube. Really excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. I've got a backlog of 100 podcast episodes that over 2024 I'm hoping to bring most of those episodes that have already been filmed on Zoom when I interviewed my guests. I hope to bring each one of those onto the YouTube platform here. Meantime, I also want to create videos, small tutorials, things about the tarot cards, how to read hagstones, how to use a crystal ball, how to use a pendulum, all of those kind of things, the psychic mind, remote viewing, mediumship, which is so very close to my heart at the moment. How can our consciousness connect with and communicate with and converse with the souls of those who are no longer here? It is a fascinating topic, and with Psychic Matters, I've got a new sort of, it's not a logo, but it's a new tag or a new slogan, maybe, and that is God-given, science-driven. And I think that's what's so very important for me about the work that I do, is the authenticity of it and the truth as far as we're able to prove it scientifically. That's what I'm all about. Psychic Matters is about pushing forward the boundaries of human consciousness to redefine the significance of living. And I absolutely love that concept. So I'm hopefully going to be creating content that you'll be able to consume, and that you will find, well, you'll be able to consume it. That's not hard, is it? Just sit and watch it. But the stuff that will stimulate you, stuff that will make you go and do your own research into these topics. You go and find out them and find your own proof, find your own truth in what it is that I share. And if you find truth in it, then that's a wonderful thing. So this is not a preaching thing. This is how you have to be and this is what you have to believe. I'm just going to share my findings, and you go and you take that and do with it what you will. So at the end of 2023, I'm just clearing out my space here. Basically, I live in London, and my partner, whom I affectionately refer to as the Beard, for obvious reasons, I'm sure you'll get to meet him over 2024, but he lives here in Suffolk in this cottage, and it's in this cottage here where I've set up a studio space. I'm now calling it a studio space. When I first set up this space, it was a healing space. It was pre-COVID, and I used to invite people into this room here, and I would do one-to-one readings. I used to do past life regression therapy in here, and I would do massage and Reiki and things like that. Please excuse me. Goodness. And that was all wonderful, but since the pandemic, I don't see anybody in person any longer. All my readings are now done online. all my sessions are done online. Everything I do, my tuition, my teaching, everything's all online. And so therefore I'm creating this space as more of a studio space. So as you can see here, my lovely wall, hello wall, I've painted it grey and it was yellow. So I'm going to show you the rest of the space here. It's only tiny, but my family have just gone home. They were with me for Christmas. I had my daughter here, she's 22, studying to be a costume designer. Well, she's already qualified actually. She's a qualified costume designer for theatre and film, and she lives in London. And my son, who is 26, and he is a sound engineer and composer and multi-instrumentalist. So he was staying here as well. He was actually sleeping in this space, which is really nice because it's got that studio vibe, and he's so used to being in his studio. So I think it was really nice for him. He had all his equipment set up here over the Christmas period. So now his bed has all been packed down, but the rest of this space is in a real mess. So I've got all my files and books. I'm studying, for those of you that follow the podcast or follow me on Facebook, you'll know that I'm studying a diploma with the Spiritualists. It's hard to say, Spiritualists National Union. So that will be a DSNU. It's a very, very intensive qualification to achieve, and involves a lot of writing and a lot of essays, and I'm sure I'll tell you all about it as 2024 unfolds. But all of those study books and all of my files and everything are just here, and things are all over the place. So I'm going to show you the little space that is the Psychic Matters podcast studio, so you'll know when you watch me as the episodes unfold exactly the layout of the land here, because I think that's quite interesting, isn't it? We don't normally get to see people's offices and things like that. So this is my beautiful wall and I wonder if I can take this camera up. My partner, the beard, bought me this brilliant what do we call it, tripod. Quite got all the terms. Yes, a tripod. Oh, good old me, tripod. For Christmas. And it's fantastic. It stands as tall as I do. So it's like a tripod person standing in front of me with my camera on the top. He's absolutely brilliant. But I don't know quite how all the buttons work, so I'm just going to try to loosen the camera whilst continuing to film. Oh, look at that. Gosh, I'm better than I think. Right, so look, so let me just show you round. So as you can see, that's the wall. Let me come further away from the wall. That's my studio wall. I just painted that part of it grey down there. And then see that? That's got to be put away and wish me luck. And then you've got this corner here where I've got all my beautiful certificates of things that I have achieved in my lifetime. I love a certificate. I don't know about you guys, but you know when you've worked really hard for something and somebody just gives you a little bit of paper saying, oh, well done you, have a little certificate with a star on it. I love that. I really love that. So they're all there in frames. Look, frames. So that's my, what's that one? Oh, past life regression. I studied that in Virginia Beach. That was a brilliant course to do. That's my, I did platform mediumship mentorship scheme with Tony Stockwell and Natalie Walker. And then I've got my, what's that one? I think that's a mentorship scheme, another one that I did with Tony Stockwell. I have studied an awful lot with him, and I've got a third one there where I learnt with him and did his teaching programme. And then the Spiritualist National Union certificates in demonstrating mediumship and teacher in demonstrating mediumship and in inspirational speaking. So that's really good. So then the other end of the room here, this is the Suffolk cottage now, bear in mind. So that's the window. Let's take a look out the window actually. Let's see what's happening out there. So that's my view. And sometimes it can be quite difficult when I'm making a podcast, because this cottage is known as Sparrow Cottage by the local people here in this tiny hamlet, because the sparrows live here, right in here, in the eaves. and they Twitter all day long, which is really beautiful and lovely, except when you're trying to make a podcast, it'd be quite difficult. So I try to do some of my recording after about 4 o'clock when they've all gone to bed. And sometimes horses clop past, and quite often tractors and combine harvesters. So, yeah, it's a busy road. So that's the view out the window. So these 2 desks, I've got to move these now and try and make this space somewhat more, excuse me, compatible with a studio that I'm trying to do. So that's me. I'm going to sign off and just say thank you very much for just being so supportive with the podcast and everything. I do thoroughly enjoy making them. I've got a podcast coming out on the 11th, I think. Hopefully not the 9th, but maybe the 9th of January. And I've just seen 2 people go past the window and they've just stopped and had a little kiss and then walked around the corner. Isn't that nice? Love. Yeah, so I've got a podcast coming out about Borley Rectory. I haven't even started it yet. I haven't even started to write it. So I've only got about 7 days left to write, produce, record, edit. I've only had 3 months rest. I could have done it before now, but you know how life is. Procrastination is the way forward. So, okay, thank you very much for joining me, as I say, on Psychic Matters. I'm really looking forward to bringing you some fantastic content. I've interviewed some brilliant guests for next year, and I can't wait to bring you those episodes. I'm currently working out how to use Descript. It's a little complicated, but there's lots of tutorials and things. So if anybody is watching this and they're an absolute whiz with Descript and you fancy supporting the podcast by just giving me a hand, oh my goodness, I would love it, because I've got ideas about how I want to edit my filmed podcasts, and I can't quite get it to the standard that I want to get it, because I do like to have a high standard of work, you see. So if you know how to use Descript, please do get in contact and volunteer your services for the benefit of all the listeners out there. That'd be so appreciated. Okay, stop rambling, Anne. Now just get on with your life. I'm off to do some cleaning, starting in that corner. Oof, wish me luck, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.